to start it, and I'm going to keep this quick. I have a great disdain towards actors, not comedians who act, but people who are actors. I don't know. Maybe this is a thing. Someone said to me yesterday, I'm bitter. And I'm like, I'm not bitter. I just don't like certain things. And they're like, that's bitter. I'm like, no, bitter to me is jealousy. That's what bitter is. You didn't make it. You're upset because I'm happy in life. I just rant a lot. I'm not bitter. I tried to act and I took a couple courses. Maybe you could say I'm bitter. But no, I chose not to act anymore. I didn't like the environment. I didn't like the actors. I didn't like the people who I was surrounded by. Everyone's being, obviously you're acting, you're not being yourself. I don't like that. When you do comedy, you're with a bunch of people who are genuinely honest. And that's what I hate about comics. When I'm watching someone do comedy, that's not honest. That it's just so fake. It's such fluff. It's fluff. And that's why I actually defend Joe Coy for his little monologue he did at the Golden Globes. He took a fluff gig. That's what he wants to do. Good for him. He wants to make the money. I don't. I personally don't want to choose those gigs. I do my act, which people might say it's a very shitty act, but I do my act because it's the way I want to do it and it's the way I think, all right? I want to talk about shit, come, fart, women being second-class citizens, but that's fun to me. I don't want to go in front of a room full of entitled fucking losers. It's not enough that you're a super rich Hollywood elite that you need awards as vindication. That's retarded. I would never participate in comedy awards. It's maybe you could make the argument, I'll play devil's advocate in this, that winning these awards help your career. Maybe, or most likely it doesn't. If you can, acting's a different thing because at the end of the day, funny's funny, right? You don't need the industry. You don't even want the industry anymore. When people talk to me about doing a set on fucking Jimmy Kimmel or doing a set on late night TV, I'm like, ugh. I'd rather put a fucking bullet to my head than have to change my act to get approved. The last thing I want to do is write comedy thinking, oh, someone's got to check this over. What's the point of doing this? What's the point of doing this? What's the point of doing comedy if I need to be approved? The whole thing is Louis said it. It's we go into this basement, this dark place. Everyone's in the shadows. Nobody can see anyone except the person speaking, with the understanding that this crazy shit's going to be said. And it doesn't necessarily have to be crazy, but things are going to be said. And it's in here, and it's for fun. It's for fucking jokes. So I don't get this whole idea of doing something where it's got to be checked. I'd rather just do a job where I can make a lot more money. I'm doing this for the fucking freedoms. I'm doing this for the freedoms. If I need to sleep into 12:30, that's the fucking freedom I'm doing this for. It's the freedom for I can say what I want because I was such a degenerate in my previous life that I would always get in shit for however I talk. And I still get in shit for however I talk. But I'll tell you something right now. It's just so much better. So yeah, I get Joe Coy. He's a superstar, very funny, very talented. But this was his thing, man. I'm sure he's this was a dream of his to host the Golden Globes. That's not for me. I mean, my dream is, of course, I would love to do a stadium that like Joe Coy's doing. I don't know why, I guess it's to make yourself more mainstream. I don't know. It's not something I'm looking for. It's just, with this whole Aaron Rodgers, Pat McAfee thing, at the end of the day, it comes down to Pat McAfee shows ESPN, which is Disney, right? Can't have Aaron Rodgers on. It's, you can't, you just don't at some point get to make the decisions. And I get it, right? I'm making all the decisions. I'm 43. I'm recording a fucking podcast with no, production value. Production value is some fucking lamp right beside me into my phone. And that's because I chose this path of, stick to it, stick to myself, stay true to yourself. And it's like, well, do you want that as a 43-year-old? I'm like 80% of the time happy. Once a day I fucking just start getting in there a little rant like these fucking cocksucking pieces of shit. And I don't even know who I'm talking about, by the way. I'm just saying it. I could be walking my dogs. But for the most part, I'm very self-aware. I know when I start ranting and start saying these motherfucking scumbag cum guzzlers, I have to catch myself and say, dude, you're out of control right now. But anyways, I just wanted to do a quick little thing because I want to be able to post this every week and just do it for me. Like, stick to something. Don't be a little fucking pussy. But anyways, I have fun. I really do. Once this gets going, it's fun. It's a weird thing. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, I have nothing else to do. I'm like, but I don't want to do this. So, but I'm glad I got to do it for the 17 to 100. That's the range we're working in. It's either 17 or 100 people are going to see this. So, however it is, it is. But maybe one day we'll look back at this and you're like, Jesus Christ, 3 years later, you're still ranting to 17 people? At this point, I become a fucking meme. Someone records me. It's like, he's been doing this for 3 years in front of nobody. Sicko, right? That's how the FBI fucking knocks down your doors. You're like, yo, I'm trying to build. And they're like, no. You've been doing this for 3 years. I mean, anyways. All right. Have a great fucking weekend.